What's up guys, Jay Jones here with Eat to Fight Nutrition. We're talking about squats today. We're going to talk about progressions that we can do in the squat, but the very first thing you have to make sure that you have is owning the air squat. I talk about this in a lot of my other videos. If you haven't owned the air squat, you need to go back and check those out. You need to watch the mobility series. You need to work on your mobility and flexibility and make sure that you absolutely have a perfect pain-free air squat that you can hold for an extended period of time for multiple reps. If you have achieved that, then we're going to start moving forward with 3 progressions that I can show you today for the squat. That's going to be the goblet squat, the front squat, and the back squat. But first, let's go over those points of performance, what we're looking for in the air squat first, right? So your feet should be right under your shoulders, toes can be slightly outward. As we start the squat, we're going to push our hips back and the knees are going to track over the toes. We're going to keep our weight in our heels and bring our hip crease below our knee. Once we've reached our bottom position, we're going to stand all the way up, making sure that the hips absolutely close at the top, and then we can repeat that. Hips back, knees out, down to the bottom, and up, keeping my weight in my heels, maintaining this upright torso the entire time. If you can do this for many reps, for a lot of time, absolutely pain-free, then we can start moving forward, all right? First thing I want to show you today, the goblet squat. You can do a goblet squat with kettlebell or a dumbbell, okay? I'm going to show you both today. So the first one, usually bottoms up position, okay? Bottom of the kettlebell is up. This is the most comfortable for the goblet, most common. We're just going to do the exact same thing I just showed you. Let me turn to the side here. We're going to go hips, knees, and all the way down and all the way up. We're going to show control. We're not bouncing, okay? We're not shoving forward and coming up on the heels and the bottom. We're just having good control, weight in the heels, upright torso. Now the beauty about a kettlebell, and something that's very specific for our sport, is we can start to offset the weight a little bit by taking the bell in one hand, placing it on the shoulder, kind of like a shot put, and then just supporting it with the other hand on the handle. Now I've got more of that weight over on my right side, and I try not to let my knees, my posture, my balance, or anything deviate towards that side. Of course, if I do a mount on one side, you gotta even it up and do it on the other. So, kettlebell goblet squat. Next, I'm gonna show you the dumbbell. Dumbbell's kind of easier in the classic version because it's straight up and down. Right there. Now, problems. Going too fast, you got bad form, get lazy. You can hit your knees on your, hit your elbows on your knees, which can cause some pain with your wrist, pain with your knees, or you can hit your head on the kettlebell. I've seen it happen before. You can hit your mouth, your lip, your nose. It's just not something that you want to do while you're trying to work out. So be aware of that. How can we make sure we don't do that? Having good control, keeping your chest high, elbows up, and knees out during the whole rep, okay? Next, I'm gonna show you the air squat. The front squat. I'm gonna go ahead and move this camera just for a second. Sorry, don't have a camera guy yet, guys. All right, because I want you to see how I set this up. So first, I need to put my shoelaces under the bar. All right, I'm always gonna pick the bar up out of the rack with my hips. So shoelaces under the bar. Next, I'm gonna put the bar right above my collarbone in this rack position, okay? So it looks like this, all right? Next thing that I need to do is create a shelf by making my elbows come as high as possible, and that's where we're gonna have some variances for different people. So, shoelaces, collarbone, create the shelf, and then I can lift. Best scenario is I got a full grip on the bar. I got like kind of a half grip on the bar. I could readjust that, full grip. Boom. It's taken me a long time to develop that. If you can't quite do it, start with a 2-finger grip, okay? Put 2 fingers on the bar. Everything's the same. Shoelaces, collarbone, shelf, and lift. This will limit you a little bit in the amount of weight, maybe have some strain in your wrist, but I can keep the elbows up and I can work on that flexibility. Now, if it's time to get stronger and you just absolutely don't have the wrist and shoulder mobility to do so, but you do have strong legs and we need to move beyond, maybe the 70 pounds that we can add with a kettlebell, okay? Then there is another alternative. This is called like the bodybuilding front squat. You're just going to create that shelf, collarbone, shoelaces, create the shelf here, and lift. You know, if you got big, tight shoulders, some of you guys are pretty big and you're out here, that's okay. It puts a little bit more, as it rolls down, it puts a little bit more stress on my shoulders, but as long as I keep these elbows high, it's putting it back here on my collarbone. Why? Because I want the weight in my heels. Because this, the advantage of this to the goblet squat is just that I can rack this thing up to 1,000 pounds, right? I'm not gonna do that, but you can put a lot of weight on this barbell, maintaining the exact same position. So let me demonstrate a few reps. I'll go ahead and move this thing again. All right. So we go shoelaces, collarbone, full grip for me. Create a shelf, lift with the hips, step out. Look, hips, knees, all the way down, all the way up. Hips, knees, just like that. Notice the upright torso, so important. In my takedowns, if I had a bent over position here, I'm gonna get snapped down, guillotine, whatever. In my takedowns, if I have an upright torso, you can see, right? So front squat has a big crossover into our sport for just being stronger, having good posture, improving your takedowns, all right? So front squat, when it comes to jiu-jitsu, this is probably one of my favorites. But sometimes, once we get bigger and stronger, we want to get more bigger and more stronger, we need to add more weight. And there's going to be a limiter, the amount of weight we can load upright with this upright torso and the elbows high on the front position. So we move it to the back. We move it to the back, we have more musculature in the back. We can use more hips, glutes, hamstrings, and we can lift more weight. So the back squat is mainly there for us to add extreme strength, right? Once we've mastered all the others. So let me show this now. I'm gonna go under, same thing, shoelaces under the bar. Now I'm gonna set it right here that's comfortable, about the middle of my traps, right? I'm gonna go elbows forward here and lift with the hips. Step out. Now the difference you're gonna see here as I push my hips back and my knees out is that I'm in a much more forward inclined position. Right here. This is so that I can use more hips, more legs, more back, and I can drive more weight. My legs are a little bit wider. All right, guys, so that's it. Goblet squat, couple variations, front squat, back squat. Be sure to check out my squat guide. It goes over reps, different programs, depending on whatever level that you are on. All right.